For this lesson, we're going to be talking about estimating quotients. And the rule here says to estimate the divisor when a two-digit divisor ends in 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, so 5 or more, divide by one more than the first digit of the divisor. So if we look at this problem here, it may be kind of confusing at first, but I think you guys will get it. So what's happening here is they're using the 57 to go into 4,271. But instead of guessing with 5 like we normally would and say how many times would 5 go into 47, they're rounding up to 6. They're going to guess with 6 to figure out what the first number here of their quotient is. Okay, and even though they're guessing with that to get the number, they're still going to multiply by the 57. Okay, so this number just helps it to where multiplication, like it says over here, is often trial and error. Some estimation does not always work, but it does sometimes help cut that number down. So if like here you've got, they're going to guess by 6. So how many times would 6 go into 42? Well, 6 times 7 is 42, so they used the 7. But now if they had used 8, 5 would go into 8. At 5 times 8 is 40. So they would have come up with a bigger number here, and they would have ended up, this here would have been too much, so they would have had to go back and rework it. So by estimating with this 6, it will kind of reduce some of the errors and make it go a little bit faster. So to put that into practice, we'll do some of these class practice problems here together. Kind of show you what it's actually talking about. Okay, so here we've got 78 is going to go into 5,694. Now, the 8 is more than 5, so when we're guessing to see what number is going to be used, we're going to guess with this 8. Okay, so 8 would go into 56 how many times? And 8 would go into 56 7 times. So if we use the 7, we're going to try the 7 instead of 8. Okay? Now, we're not going to use this 8 here at this time. Not to times. We're only going to use that to guess the number at the top. So 7 times 8 is 56. And 7 times 7 is 49. Plus 5 would give us 54. Okay, and then if we subtract that, that's going to leave us with 23. And we're going to get 4. Now, we're going to guess with our 8 and see if this works. So 8 would go into 23 how many times? Well, 8 would go into 23. 8 times 2 is 16. But 8 times 3 is 24. So that number is really, really close to 24. Even though it's over, because it's so close to 24, I think we'd be better off to try 3 instead of 2. So 8 times 3 is 24. And 3 times 7 is 21, plus 2 gives us 23. So here we have 73 as our answer. Okay? Now let's try another one. So 29 will go into 7,656 how many times? Well, we have a 9 here. So instead of using 2 to guess how many times it's going to go into 7, let's try using 3 as our number. So 3 would go into 7 2 times. So let's try guessing with 2. Okay, so 2 times 9 is 18. And 2 times 2, whoops, it's in the wrong spot. Should have went over that far. Okay, so put our 2 here. 2 times 9 is 18. And 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 more makes 5. Okay. So we have 18 left over, so 18 is less than 29, so we know that's good. Now if we do the next part, we have, drop our 5 down. Okay, so 3 again is what we're going to guess with. So 3 will go into 18 how many times? Well, 3 will go into 18 6 times. Okay, so now we're going to multiply by the 29. We're just going to do 6 times 29. So 6 times 9 is 54. And 6 times 2 is 12, plus 5 makes 17. And if we take that away, we got 11, it's less than 29, so that'll work. We drop down our 6. Now we have 3 again. Instead of using 2 into 11, we're going to use this 3 like we have been doing. So 3 will go into 11 how many times? 3 times. And 3 times 3 is 9. So 9 is, a few numbers away from 11, so we'll try the 3. See how that works. So 3 times 9 is 27. And 3 times 2 is 6, plus 2 would give us 9. Would give us 8. Would give us 8. Okay, so if we subtract this, my pen's not working very good. So 16 take away 7 is 9, and 10 take away is 2. Well, we ended up with 29. So that's exactly the same number. So because I got exactly the same number, that tells me that it's going to go in one more time. So what I actually am going to need to do is to go up here at the top and change this 3 here to actually to a 4. So our answer would be 264. And I'm not going to go back and rework this because I know that it's going to go evenly exactly one more time because this number is the same. So 264 would be the answer. Okay, hopefully that's not too confusing. Okay, now let's try 36 into 2008. Okay, so we have a 6. So instead of guessing with 3 to see how much it would go into it, we're going to guess with 4. So we're going to say, okay, 4 would go into 20 how many times? Well, 4 will go into 25 times. And 36 would have to go into 200. So we're going to put our 5 over our third digit. So 5 times 6 is 30. And 5 times 3 is 15 plus 3 is 18. Okay, and that's going to leave us with 20 left over, which is less than 36, so that would be correct. Now again, we've got 208. So if we guess with our 4 up here, 4 would go into 20 again 5 times. And 5 times 6, we know that 5 times 36 is 180 because that's what we've done right here. So 180, that will leave us with 28. 28 is less than 36. So 55 with a remainder of 28 would be our answer. Okay? And let's do this next one here. One more together. So 88, again, the 8 is more than 5, so we're going to estimate and guess with 9. So 9 would go into 64 7 times. So we're going to try it with 7. Okay, so 7 times 8 is 56. And again, 56. 56 plus 5 is 61. Alright, and if we subtract this, we're going to end up with 32. So it's less than that, so we're good there. And again, now we're going to drop our 9 down and we're going to estimate taking the 9 into 329. Okay, so 9 will go into 32 about how many times? Well, 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. So let's try the 3. Okay, so 8 times 3 is 24. And 24 again plus 2 is 26. Okay, so 9, that's going to give us 5. And that's going to leave us with 65. Okay, so we're less than 88, so we're good to go there. All right, now let's drop down our 1. Okay, and again, we're going to go back to our 9 here at the top. So 9 would go into 65 about how many times? Again, it went into 64. 9, 11 is 64, so let's try the 7. And we know that 7 we've done work that, so 7 times 88 is our first number here, which is 616. Okay, so if we subtract this, 11 take away that, it's 5, and we got 35. So again, we're good to go there. It's less than 88. Now we're going to drop our 2, and 9 goes into 35. Now that's very, very close to 36, right? So 9 times 4 is 36. So let's use 4 instead of 3. Okay, so 4 times 8 is 32, and 32 plus 3 is 35. Okay, so we got the same answer. We have 0, so 7,374 would be our answer. Okay, so hopefully you guys have figured out how to work these problems. So good luck with the rest of the assignment.